I'm Ale with West Houston Studios, and today we're going behind the scenes with Ale. I would like to introduce you guys to my man Dee Wok. Dee Wok, what's the word, G?
What's going on, my boy?
Man, I appreciate you for coming out, bro. How you doing?
I'm great. You know what I'm saying? God blessed me with another day, so I'm here.
That's all it is, man. Let's keep living. But hey, man, before we get started, first and foremost, for any listeners who maybe don't know about you, what's one thing that most people would not know about you? Something that they wouldn't expect about you?
I'm gonna cook up. I'm gonna cook up in the kitchen and in the studio. You know what I'm saying? I've been told I look like a singer for real. I don't know why or where that comes from because I don't sing, but I rap. I'm really Chef Boy, you know what I'm saying? I get in the kitchen, I get down.
Okay. So what would you say is the signature dish from Dee Wok, bro?
Seafood, baked potato, maybe some pasta, anything like that. I ain't gonna lie, I'll get crazy, but for me, as long as it tastes good, it don't even matter.
Okay, great. Well, hey, man, if you guys are looking for somebody to cook up some seafood, definitely hit up Dee Wok. But yeah, let's get into it, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started with your creative.
So, back to, cooking, I grew up in the kitchen with my grandma. Every day after school, you know what I'm saying, I would always go over to her house, you know what I'm saying, so we cooking up. And it was really like a bonding experience, you know what I'm saying. I love my grandma, I hold her dear to my heart. But that's pretty much where it started, you know what I'm saying, learning how to just play with food, make it taste a certain way. And then ultimately that transitioned into me having my own business, selling cakes and cupcakes and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been attached to some form of creativity.
Okay. So taking that and going into music, man, how'd you get started in music?
Man, even back when I was a kid, I was always rapping or writing some type of poetry or lyrics or something like that. So I remember like when I was younger, we had a lawnmower in the back of the house, so I sit on the lawnmower. And I remember one time my dad was like, bro, who do you think you are? Like Biggie or something? Because I'm telling you, like, I was just sitting back there writing music. It ain't even have to be a song for it. It could just be a poem, however I felt at the time, because that's honestly the only way I knew to express myself. So
you talking about like lawnmower, the ride lawnmowers?
Yeah, the riding lawnmower.
Right?
Yeah, the riding lawnmower.
And for those who don't know, man, Dee Wok is real country. Like, he's out there in the country. So he's talking about like a tractor type deal. He's sitting back, freaking sipping on some lemonade, writing some lyrics. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, like, long story short, now you've been working with me for what, going on 2 years?
Yeah.
Going on 2 years, man, and I appreciate you. I appreciate the business that you brought to me, man. But how'd you end up finding West Houston Studios, bro?
Man, there's artists out there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm very supportive, you know what I'm saying? So even if a particular person's music isn't meant for me, I'm not the audience. I know somebody else out there is for them. So I recognize the hard work. I recognize the hustle. But every now and then you fall in love with an artist. And I just happened to come across this girl named Millie Bucks on Instagram. Fell in love. For real, fell in love. And just everything that she was doing at the time and that she's doing right now, I still love it. So I knew she was working with you at the time. Honestly, I wasn't even rapping. Of course, I was writing music back in the day, but I had took a break, you know what I'm saying? We live life. We got to pay bills, you know what I'm saying? Got to make stuff happen. So we get a little sidetrack. But after meeting her, you know what I'm saying, I got back into that bag, started making music again, seen she was working with you, and I was like, bro, I got to book a session. Like, what's stopping me? So we made that first remix. Yeah.
Dang. So one more time, shout out to Millie Bucks. And this goes to show you that creating content, whenever you're working with people, you don't know who it gets to, man. It wound up getting to Dee Wok. Dee Wok found me through the content, and now here we are. 2 years later, hella records in the vault, getting ready to release. So y'all stay tuned. But tell us, man, in the last 2 years since we started working together, how has your process evolved, man, from when you first, came in through my door to now?
I do me, my way, in my own lane. Honestly, it's always been like that. I don't feel like we, as artists, we always seek validation from other people. You know what I'm saying? And I think at some point we have to learn to stand on our own and to just go based off our own lived-in experiences. So that's really all it is for me, just going through life, everything that I've learned, everything that I've been through, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? I just put that in my music. Even if it could be 5 songs, I'm talking about nothing but just being confident in myself. That's what I was going through at the time. So whatever it is, just life all folds into it.
Man, and that's major because you guys got to definitely be comfortable within your own skin, within your own experiences, and just laying that out on the record because making music isn't just about, hey, what's gonna be a hit? Is this gonna go viral? X, Y, Z. You kind of just have to live and put that on the music, right?
Nah, for real. You live and then you create. That's what I go by. You live, you create. Honestly, if you're not living, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people that deal with writer's block, they just stay in the house. They still hitting the pad. They trying to figure out how to get it going. But now you got to get outside. You got to go live life, connect with people, build relationships, and then that's how you become inspired, really.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, like I said, you've been working with me for going on 2 years, but you've been making music since before then. So recording yourself, how long have you been putting out records? How long have you been, putting records in the vault that you've been recording?
I started in high school. I ain't gonna cap. I started in high school. It was this one app. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was basically everybody got on the app. You know what I'm saying? We find a beat, write a song to it, and it was just everybody in high school dissing each other. So really, that's how I started. No cap, dissing. So that's how I started. And honestly, I wasn't putting out music with everybody else. I would just keep it to myself. You know what I'm saying? But over time, it did transition into building that relationship with you, and now I'm actually putting out music. So it's only been a couple years now since I've actually put something out.
Okay. Now, since when you first got started then in high school to now, what challenges would you say you have faced as an artist, things that you have had to overcome?
That confidence in myself, that not needing validation. You know what I'm saying? As much as I try to pour that into everybody else, I also had to build that myself. So I had to make sure I was confident in myself. I can't be seeking out validation from other people, because a lot of the times we think our fans are the closest ones to us, but that's not even the case. It be strangers, people we don't even know that'll show love before it's the people closest to us. So yeah, just standing on my own, figuring out who I am, knowing who I am.
Now, we're not here to blame anything or anybody, but if you had to, say, hey, this is one reason why, I struggled with the confidence within myself, with me seeking validation, what would you say that is?
I'm going to say this. When people truly love you, they'll support whatever it is you want to do. Now, that's not to say that your best friend, your lover, your family, that's not to say that they don't love you. Sometimes they just don't get the vision. But when someone truly loves you, it doesn't even matter what they see. It just matters what you see for yourself.
Man, most definitely. And that's one thing that a lot of people struggle with. God gave you the vision, and it's your vision for a reason. Everybody doesn't have to really fall within that vision or see what you see. You just got to be able to see it yourself and be confident to just move forward. So I'm glad that you were able to do that, man, because, again, if it wasn't for that, you probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been working as long as we have been working. So, thank God that we're here. So, Dee Wok, how would you say that you balance your everyday living with your creative work, man, being an artist?
Bruh, it's really no balance. It's just all risk and hope for reward. We are our own managers as independent artists. That title is ambiguous, so we wear so many different hats. We are the label with the financial backing. We are the A&Rs. We are the team. We are building it all ourselves, the photographer, the videographer. So it's really no balance. You just got to give it your all. Some days, pockets might look a little empty. But, as long as you're investing in yourself, it's all worth it in the end.
Man, that's great. And I appreciate you for bringing up the fact that you're wearing many hats because, anybody who's followed West Houston Studios from the beginning knows that I wear, damn near all the hats that I need to. And any artist, honestly, that's coming up right now with the technology and all that wears damn near all the hats. So if you would say, some hats that you're like, hey, I'm totally comfortable wearing these hats for myself compared to X other hats, which ones would you say that you do best at? Which ones are you like, hey, I would prefer to have had somebody with me, but I'm making it work?
Yeah. I already do my own photography, you know what I'm saying? So I envision things myself. That's something that I definitely I can take care of. I can handle that. I would say even, honestly, I'm really my own manager. That's my biggest thing. I'm my own manager. I don't feel like currently I have anyone that can manage myself better than me. No one else is getting me up out the bed right now. I'm the only one getting myself up besides God. You know what I'm saying? Let me just thank him because he really the one waking me up. But besides him, I'm getting myself up out that bed. I'm the one driving almost 2 hours to come to the studio. You know what I'm saying? I'm making all that happen. I'm paying that gas money. Ain't nobody doing that for me. So, yeah.
Man, and that's one thing I can appreciate about you too, man, because kind of like myself, like damn near anywhere you pull up one deep, bro.
Yeah.
And like now, thanks to, the connections that we made, we're pulling up as a team, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Next Wave, because we
sure.
stepping together, whatever. But I mean, if we really need to, we don't have a problem pulling up one deep, you know what I'm saying? We do what we got to do. Now, moving forward, man, keeping that in mind, what advice would you give artists who are trying to, figure out their finances while they're chasing their dreams, keeping a job, being an artist?
Get a job. But not even get a job though. It's more so like finding something that you do well and being able to profit off of that. So if you do photography, videography, if you're a model or whatever it is that you can do well, even if it's already not a business for yourself, just building that so you can create your own stream of revenue, create your own schedule. You know what I'm saying? When you make your own schedule, that door is no longer cracked for opportunities. You're able to have that wide open so you can move whenever you need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great one, man. So again, any artists who are looking for advice, definitely take that. Find what it is that you're great at and try to figure out a way to, monetize that. You don't necessarily have to be, right out the gate making a ton of bread. You need to be able to, make enough to sustain yourself and continue following whatever it is that you're trying to do, following your dreams. Now, taking that, man, because a lot of artists, be a little frozen when it comes to their finances. They don't want to talk about this. But how has your mental health been, going through this? Like, hey, I'm taking my money, I'm investing in this, but I'm not seeing return right away. I'm continuously investing, but it's something that I enjoy doing. How has your mental health been?
It's been up and down. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have days to where I was like, dang, should I even be doing this? But yeah, it's all about focusing on the small moments that people made you remember who you were. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we do forget who we are, and we got to realize we that dude or we that girl. You know what I'm saying? So just focusing on all those small moments where I felt appreciated, I felt recognized for who I am, because I know who I am, especially at this point I'm in now. So yeah, just focusing on all those small moments and not letting the negativity consume you, because as soon as you focused on that, that's all it takes.
Gotcha. Now, you mentioned earlier, mental health has been a bit of a roller coaster. And, you got to take the good moments so that you can pull yourself right back out of whatever, down times you have. So if you had to think about like a time that you were, pondering, should I give up? Should I just drop all this? And then you decided not to give up. What was that moment?
Really kind of just going back to those small moments. I mean, I have a team of people around me now versus when I first started. When I first started, it was just me, really one deep, and I'm still one deep. Don't get it confused. But, you know what I'm saying, now I have a team of people with me, whether it's a team that's helping me build my career, just the people around me that are supporting me. So they always make sure, like, you recognize who you are. Don't forget it. Mm-hmm. Don't forget what you do when you get in that studio, because you make some fire. So,
and I can attest to that, man, because ever since Dee Wok had came through my doors, like, he's always had the bars. Okay. It was just like the shakiness, the confidence of him laying down the bars.
I just package it differently now. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, we're here. You know what I mean? And we're still developing. We're still growing. And I mean, we just got started. We're scratching the surface right now. What would you say keeps you motivated? We just talked about the team. Yeah, we appreciate the team and everything. But, outside of that, what would you say keeps you motivated to continue this journey?
Knowing that I needed someone to tell a story when I was younger, I felt like I needed a story that was never told. It was never in front of my face. So knowing that all the things that I've been through, even if the next person closest to me haven't been through them, someone on this world has, and I can still reach them. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but someday it'll get to them, and it'll change their lives. That's all I really hope for.
Man, and that's tough, because like you said, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow. It could be years down the line, where maybe we even stop doing what we're doing or whatever. Somebody finds a piece of content, somebody finds a song, and it resonates with them. And it resonates with them in a positive way that it inspires or motivates them. That's honestly part of the reason why I do a lot of the things that I do myself, man, because, like, for example, going back to the fact that this is called Behind the Scenes with Ale, when I was growing up, man, I would low-key be looking for content of artists, like them in the studio or them, working on music. just so I could understand the process, or so I could, almost feel like you're in the room with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And every now and then you would find a piece of content. It'd be like 30 seconds that freaking inspired you. So yeah, man. Hopefully, your music, this content, podcast, whatever, reaches the people that it needs to reach. And it inspires them, because at the end of the day, that's what we do it for. I mean, money's great, you know what I'm saying? We would love to be making some M's off of music, and we're gonna be making some M's here soon. But in the meantime, we'll settle for inspiring the next generation. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
Let's say, what would you say is the best piece of advice you've ever gotten from somebody? It doesn't have to be music related, just something that, like, hey, this helped me with my personal life, whatever.
I don't even remember where exactly I heard this for real. I think it might have been in a movie or something. But don't ever let anyone tell you how bright you can shine. Yeah, don't ever let anyone tell you, because going back to people not seeing a vision, you know what the vision is. So if they don't see it, how can they tell you how bright you're going to be? Simple as that.
Easy enough, man. So again, don't let anybody dim your light, basically. You feel something inside you, God plays that inside you, whether you're religious or not, whatever, something plays that inside you, and, act on it. And don't let anybody try to talk you down. There's going to be a ton of people, a lot of naysayers. Again, they weren't given the vision. You were given the vision. So just keep it moving. Now, before we move forward, I do want to take a quick break to let you guys know. Again, this is West Houston Studios. If you guys are looking for any studio time, whether you're looking to record, mix, or master, you're looking for some photos, some video, creating content in general, you're looking to produce a podcast, definitely hit us up at West Houston Studios, at West Hugh Studios on Instagram, or at Podcast in Houston on Instagram if you're looking to do the podcast creation. We have competitive rates. We have high quality work. We have a ton of artists that you can link up with in the future if you're looking to network and build with other artists. So definitely hit us up. Don't be shy. If you would like, you can text 832-979-5909. Hit me up on DM, or go through the website and just book a session. I'm looking forward to linking up with y'all. But, back to these questions. We're going to wrap up as far as, the studio questions and artist questions. But I did want to ask you a couple of questions just to let people get to know you a little bit better. What would you say is your most favorite track that you created up to this point, and why?
That's a really good question. I have a song called Recluse right now. It's really a temporary name for real, because I haven't settled on a name. But it's basically about me being, I'm going to pull up by myself. I'm one deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really need that validation anymore. I don't need to be in the mix. I'm comfortable in my own space. Just me, vibing by myself. A lot of times when I'm at home, it's just me in my room, writing my music. I don't need all the extra parties in there. I'm really comfortable being on my own. So that's really what the song is about.
Awesome, and that's a great point that you bring up, man. I do want to say, there's a lot of artists that will take, their uncle, their cousin, their best friend, damn near 5+ people in the studio. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, it's cool to have a vibe when you're trying to have like a little bit of a listening session, trying to show them some of the stuff that you're working on. When you're first trying to lay something down, I want to say that's counterproductive, because a lot of the times you're just trying to kind of impress the people that are in the room, and you don't really pay attention to the detail of your performance. Are you dropping the bars the way that you intended to? Is your conviction right? And then, that'll be a session that was kind of wasted. Not to say that it was wasted, but you're going to go back home, you're going to listen to it, and you're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be able to put your finger on the fact that it was the fact that you had all these unnecessary people around. You're more or less going to blame the engineer, whether it's me or somebody else. But I do recommend, if you're in the studio or you're looking to record a song, come by yourself or come with somebody who actually, has heard you record before, and they can kind of call you out on whether or not you're hitting it with conviction, whether or not your cadences are on point. That's who you need in the studio. You don't need a bunch of people that have nothing to do with your music just sitting around.
And I'll second it, because one thing I'll make sure I am 100% on is my focus in the studio. If it's something that's distracting me, whether it's substances, people, anything, I'm removing those distractions, because going to what my boy said, when you're first laying the track down, you want to make sure your focus is there. If you're not delivering at that time, it's not going to sound how you want it to sound. Why y'all think y'all songs sound how they sound? So you got to go in there with the focus, and then after that, you can throw you a little listening party, invite your friends, but just make sure you get your work done first. That's the main goal.
Exactly, work first, man. Let's knock it out. But all right. So we talked about the best record, which is Recluse, which we haven't recorded just yet, right? We haven't. So you guys be on the lookout for Recluse. What would you say is your least favorite track and why?
My least favorite. I'm not gonna hate on none of my songs. I'm not gonna hate on none of my songs. But if I really had to pick one, I'll say when I first started, I had this song called Joker, and it's not even fully complete. It probably has one verse and a chorus on it. But that's one of those. It was when I first started, and like I said, now I just package it differently. So back then, I been had the bars, I been had all that. I just needed to change my delivery. So if I had to pick one, I'd choose Joker.
Okay. And that's something that's not even out, right?
Yeah, that's not even out. They y'all not even going to hear that. Y'all not going to hear that.
But all right, now I know we've been talking for months about you and Millie Bugs doing a collaboration. And I know you really want that Millie Bugs collab. So again, shout out Millie Bugs. But outside of that, who would you say is somebody that you would love to collaborate, like a dream collaboration, even if it's an artist that's already up there?
Mm-hmm. I'll say one for sure is Lotto. She's one of those that I kind of grew up watching. You know what I'm saying? I seen her grow up in the industry from when she was a little kid, and just now to how she's leveled up her game. So I say one, her, but I wouldn't limit it to her. You know what I'm saying? I would like to collab with some other artists. Lil Russell, he's one.
Shout out Lil Russell.
For real, he's doing his thing out in Cali right now. And I ain't gonna lie, I feel like we could both pop it on the record together. I feel like our styles would go well.
Okay.
And then folks gonna hate on me for this, but I don't really care. I'ma say Drake. For sure.
Canceled immediately.
For real. Say what y'all want.
All right, so now, Dee Wok, you're the artist, you're your manager, you're your photographer. What's one piece of gear or software that you can't live without, man?
It's gonna sound so Gen Z. But my phone. And the reason why I say that is because I do so much research. I write so much in my notes that, like, it all goes on my phone, and I be having to go back to it and look at it again. So, granted, I can live without my phone, but it's not ideal. I need that research.
Nah, of course. There's a ton of content, a ton of information on your phone, which is invaluable. Because we're talking about intellectual property here. This is stuff that you probably have written down somewhere, but you probably have it really readily accessible on your phone. Now I'm with you. I definitely would almost second that as well. I mean, I probably can't be without my phone if I have my studio stuff. If I'm recording, mixing, and mastering, I could probably live without my phone. But let's say outside of music, man, where would you say is your favorite place to get some fast food if you're on a budget? You know, earlier we were talking about people figuring out their financials while being an artist. Sometimes that means that you don't have money to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what does that look like for you, man?
Man, honestly, going back to me being a chef, I recommend everybody cook before they go out and get some fast food. And the reason why I say that...
people don't cook.
For real, but the reason why I say that is because... And this doesn't have to be for everyone. I'm just a single person. I don't have a family I got to feed. So I understand for people who have families, it's a little bit different. But for me, I can go into the store, spend $10 that I'm going to go spend at Chick-fil-A or $15 at Whataburger, wherever else. I can spend that money and I can probably eat off that for a few days. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to spend that on one meal at Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
But for the families, though, where, like, even if you just trying to grab something real quick, I would say Chick-fil-A. Get you a little spicy chicken sandwich, the fries, and a drink. That's $10.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really eat Taco Bell, but a $5 box, I don't know if it's still $5, but hey.
Hey, little icing on top, man. I'm gonna throw that in there because my wife is on this. You know, definitely get you the apps because you know sometimes you get the rewards, you get some free food. And yeah, man, I mean, there's sometimes where, I mean, for those who know, you know, we have 4 kids. So there's times where she'll get away with some food, $20, $25 off all 6 of us. I'll be like, eee.
No cap. I be in them rewards too. On a struggling day, oh, trust me, I'm eat for free.
Man, and T-Mobile Tuesday, if you're on T-Mobile, just the other day, they had that 1 cent for like 3 chicken strips at what's it called? Fuck. Rick Ross owns this.
The Wingstop.
The Wingstop.
Yeah, the Wingstop.
He has some Wingstops. All right. So outside of music, man, what would you say is other content that you be on? Like that you digest, not that you create
That I
yourself,
digest? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Podcasts. I spend a lot of time on YouTube, so I watch different podcasts. I watch even just different music videos. I tend to spend time studying different artists because I feel like you can always learn something from the next person. So YouTube gets a lot of my time. And then, other than that, I ain't gonna lie, I'm really digesting beats for real because if I'm not researching or studying something, I'm working on my own music.
Where would you say you're listening to beats for the most part?
Where?
Mm-hmm.
See, I was using the app, you know what I'm saying? I was using BeatStars. Shout out to BeatStars, you know what I'm saying? They be having some hard producers on there. No lie. But recently I've been working with my own producer, you know what I'm saying? Part of Next Wave. Shout out to Anthony Ray Kid. You did what I'm saying.
Shout out A-Ray.
For real. So I've been working with him, building with him, you know what I'm saying? Working on my sound and just trying to build something cohesive instead of just hopping between whatever sounds good.
Man, and again, Dee Wok's been bringing up all the heat. So for those who don't know, you know, a ton of artists are getting beats off of YouTube. A ton of artists are getting beats off of BeatStars. These are beats that maybe a handful of other artists maybe have already used. Maybe they haven't. But, I mean, we're living in Houston, man. There's a ton of producers out here.
Real.
You got to find you someone to lock in with. Not just because they can create something from scratch, but because at the same time you're developing a relationship long term and you're hoping to grow as an artist, right? The goal is to grow as an artist, to grow your fan base, to actually start making some money off of touring and all this other stuff. And what better way to do it than with your own team? With somebody on the production, somebody on the photo, somebody on the video. So again, lock in with a producer, man. Don't be out here on these supposed free YouTube beats because they're not free, homie.
Yeah.
Like they're free for you to like promote. You know, drop that on SoundCloud. But a lot of these people are dropping them on DSPs and trying to cut the producers out of the picture. It's not good business.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. I'm not trying to give you guys legal advice. I'm not judging y'all. At the end of the day, I want y'all's business. So again, if you guys are looking to record, mix, and master, go to westhoustenstudios.com and book your session.
But I want to say this too, like, get outside. You know what I'm saying? Get outside. They be having producer events, you know what I'm saying, to where you can go out and just see who's hot, see what's going on, see what you like. And if it's something you like, hit the producer, work with them. You know what I'm saying? Get out there.
Shoot a DM, man. Don't be afraid. Go introduce yourself. Shake somebody's hand. You know what I'm saying? It goes a long way. Sometimes, we be in our head thinking, hey, this person is like here, I'm right here. And that'll keep you from going in to introduce yourself. Whereas if you went to introduce yourself, chances are a ton of other people aren't taking that opportunity, and this person probably ends up linking with you.
And whole time they've been looking for someone like you.
For real.
Come on now.
Now, what would you say are some favorite things for you to do when you're all caught up? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to worry about anything. You know that you have a couple of hours to relax.
I'm a big movie, TV show person. I like cinema. But I'm also one of those, I'm not a movie quoter. So you won't see me walking around here quoting my favorite movie. But I remember like all the different scenes and stuff. It's more so I like to keep things fresh. I like to learn new things. And part of that is, to me, finding a new movie, finding a new show. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what they're incorporating from life right now and how it can possibly change me or someone around me.
Okay. Now it's 2025, so everybody has all these streaming platforms, man. So what's a show that you're watching right now?
I just wrapped up Adolescence on Netflix. I just wrapped that up. It's about this little boy who murdered someone.
Okay.
He was 13 years old, and basically he was being bullied. He was told that he was an incel. You know what that is?
What?
So basically, an incel. Yeah, an incel is basically someone who is going to remain like a virgin for the whole life. They're not gonna get any interaction like that. And mind you, I'm not Webster, so don't be quoting me. But like basically, this girl was bullying him, which they found that out later on in the season. But he followed her, leaving school one day, and he killed her, stabbed her. I want to say 8 times with a knife.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So it was
because she was bullying him.
Yeah, and the whole time he was lying to his family and everybody that he didn't do it, and he was putting up a good image too. I ain't gonna lie, had me fooled for a little second. Only reason why I knew because I was told he killed the person. But yeah, it was wild.
All right, what was that called one more time?
Adolescence.
Adolescence. All right, I'll probably check that one out. I be on that weird dark stuff sometimes too. So
I don't blame you. Me too sometimes.
now, before we get out here, man, one more question. What would you say is the piece of advice that you wish people knew? Whether that's something that you want to give people, or something that somebody told you, but something that you wish people knew more.
Love don't cost a thing. Love don't cost a thing.
Oof.
It's easy to just support somebody and love somebody when you truly love them. I mean, I don't know if we just out here saying that we love people and we don't love them. I don't know what the epidemic is. I don't know what's really going on. But love don't cost a thing. If that's your friend, it don't hurt to comment. It don't hurt to share a post. It don't hurt to just say, hey, this my friend. She do XYZ, you know. So yeah, love don't cost a thing.
Hey, man, and I know that you guys be seeing the content. Y'all see the photos. Y'all see the videos. And from the outside looking in, it can seem like we got it together already. Sometimes when it's like that, it almost feels like, hey, my support's not going to make a difference. I promise you it does.
Yeah.
Because we are kind of, I mean, like everybody else, we're just putting ourselves out there and we're hoping that it grows up. You know what I mean? And, you know, sometimes we're just doing a ton of work because we just happen to be in that mode. And sometimes we don't post as much because, you know, we get in our head or whatever it is. So, again, I mean, you see it, drop a like, drop a comment. If you actually digested the content, you know, maybe say something about it. Don't just drop fire or don't be like myself. I do the salute emoji all the time. I don't know. I mean, we all can do better at that, honestly. But
same way y'all be wanting people to support y'all business, support the next person.
yeah. So let's do a little bit better about that, guys. Now, again, before we get out, man, I definitely want to thank you one more time for coming out with us.
For sure.
For anybody who isn't already following Dee Wok, make sure y'all follow him on Instagram at DeeWok444. You know, follow. Make sure you let him know that you saw the podcast and maybe share something from the podcast that you liked or something that resonated with you that led you to follow him.
For real,
I'm sure that we would
me.
appreciate that.
Tap in. I'm not scared. I'll talk to you.
And one last time, you know, shameless plug, if you're looking to record, mix, or master, hit me up at West Houston Studios, 832-979-5909, or go on westhoustonstudios.com, book your session. If you're looking to produce a podcast, go to podcastinghouston.com, submit your information. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Hope you guys have a great rest of y'all's day. Y'all take it easy.